Hello and welcome to Access Paranormal podcast here at the Pod Cafe in Speak. And joining me again are my co-host Jonathan Sullivan.
Hello.
And Marie Spriggs.
Hello again.
To be honest with you, I haven't moved anywhere, have we, since the last show? No, we've got to give our little secrets away, haven't we? But tonight, we're going to be talking about haunted theatres, and two in particular. I mean, we'll probably drop another couple in as well as we're going along, but the two we're going to be talking about tonight. Let's start off with the first one, and that's got to be, go for it, Jonathan.
Citadel.
The Citadel in St. Helens.
Yeah, brilliant place.
An absolutely beautiful, beautiful theatre.
Yeah.
It closed down in June 2019. I think it was around June 2019.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
And it's reopened again, but it's reopened in a completely different kind of a company, hasn't it? But they're trying to bring back the theatre stuff again, which is fantastic.
It's all community-based, isn't it?
But
It
we,
is a lot more community-based in that one.
but we had the privilege of a paranormal investigation down there at the Citadel.
Yeah.
Not once, not twice. Well, twice for you two, but 3 times for me. Because 2000 and was it? I'll tell you when it was. Now it was 2006. I was involved with a play called "They Were All Some Mother's Sons." I was doing all the photography, and gosh, I designed the tickets as well, and the program. Anyway, that night after the show finished, James, who we know, James Anthony. At the time, there was me, my son Mark, strangely enough, and a couple of others. And he said, "Do you fancy doing a ghost hunt?" You know, we said, "Yeah, let's go for it." So I think there was about 5 or 6 of us there, and there's a lady called Carmel as well. We got on the stage, we did a few call outs and everything else, and it was brilliant. We were getting things happening throughout the whole night.
Good.
But the strangest one was we went up to the dance hall.
Oh, upstairs,
it's a bit of a walk to the dance hall. We went up to the top there, and don't forget, this was one of my first ghost hunts in a long, long time. Well, it was one of my it was my first ghost hunts, proper ghost hunt like that. I've done a little spooky one somewhere, and we were in the dance hall, and we started hearing, and I'll hold my hand up now. I said it was crying, but it was singing. Because who'd be crying on the stage? So it was clear singing. We could hear it from the back room, and we all heard it, including my son Mark. So we went, let's get out on it. Let's get down here now. And we shot down there. No one, nothing, not a sound. And everyone we were with, because there was only a handful of us, were accounted for.
Strange, eh?
So it was a very good night. And not just that happened, other things happened as well. But that night started off that, these are great, these ghost hunts, and the rest was history. We had joined the ghost group, left that one. We got our own ghost group, Ghost Quest Liverpool, and we hadn't gone back there. Nobody was allowed to go back there for ghost hunts or nothing. It just wasn't happening. Yeah. And just before it was closing down in June, I think it was June 2019. I'm sure it was. It closed down, and we had the privilege to go back. A few of us.
We did.
With our group, and do a ghost hunt there.
Yeah. And it was
good.
It was fascinating.
It was incredible. Yeah. I mean, we recorded it. We've got the full recording as well. Yeah. And we didn't video record it, sadly, but we did record it. And that night, you say what you thought you saw.
Well, we was on the stage, and we kept hearing a lot of noises, so we'd all just lay on the stage, because with it being a wooden stage as well, you can feel the vibration, can't you? People moving off, if anybody walks, and you was getting a lot from behind the curtains coming, and people seeing things, and orbs moving around people. And then we had somebody up on, so we was on the stage up in the circle.
That's right.
It was me. Yeah, somebody. It was me.
It was shadows up there, wasn't it?
And there was shadows, and there was a lot of shadows that we were getting.
Especially by it's like the music box or whatever.
Yeah, the projector, not the projector room, sorry, the sound room.
Yes, sound room.
It's called the sound recording room,
So we had that, and we're passing to you saying, can you see something on stage? And you're shouting to us, we've got orbs around you, we've got movement around you, and we're on the stage looking round because we can hear things. So it was going back and
Yeah,
two,
it
wasn't
was,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. So that was one of the fascinating things, which happened not once, it happened quite a few times, that, didn't it?
That's
Because
right.
we kept going back. So, and then I think did we all go upstairs to have a view round?
Yeah.
How steep is that?
Yeah. Well,
They're frightening steep, yeah.
you were just saying, sorry, we went, there's like double doors at the back, isn't there? And you go up and then you can turn right or turn left to go into the balcony. Apologies. That back route, that back area is haunted. And
That stairs when you go up.
and James said there's always someone standing at the top of the stairs.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And you all
weird,
went
that
back on the stage again a little bit later on and said, "Oh, Jamie, you go up on the balcony." And I'd found out about this thing.
Yeah. You went up on your
go
own,
up there.
didn't you?
Yeah, you had to send me up on my own. I had to go up them stairs, and it was the longest walk you could ask for. You know, when you're going up there and you know there's something up there. And I got to the top of the stairs, and could I open that door?
That's right.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a struggle. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
I couldn't open it. And I thought it's jammed. And then all of a sudden it just opened.
Yeah.
You see, the last time we went back, we got told about the full history of it as well, didn't we?
That's right, we did.
The way
Yeah.
the stage had been moved forward, because it used to be where like the bar is.
Yeah.
That's where the stage was,
Yeah.
and there was more seating as well.
That's right.
And we went into that
Was
room,
it
we could
the
see
three
where the
layers?
other seating used
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went into one above the stage, wasn't it? Off the back of the stage.
Yeah.
The dance room.
No, before you
It's
got to
before
the
you
dance
get in
room.
there, there's another room,
Just before you go
Oh,
up.
yes, there is. Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
could see where
You can see where all the air conditioning
Yeah.
was now,
Mm.
but
you could make out
you
where
can
it
make
was, couldn't you?
out and how high it was going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So
another
it looks
balcony,
like-
really.
It looks like was the 2 or 3.
Yeah.
If we can
Yeah.
put the picture up of the actual balcony from the stage, because we've got an actual picture of that, haven't we? Where
Yeah.
we can go. It's up there now. If anybody's, you can all see it now. If you look there, you can see the sound room at the very top, and
Yeah.
there's the doors to the
A
left and the
large
doors
window.
to the right.
Yeah.
Everything was happening up in that area there. Now the bottom part, where you can just about see at the bottom, that's the doors to slightly to the left. That's another music section there in the middle, and then slightly to the left, the grey area is the doors which go behind at the back of the theatre. Well, it's the front of the theatre
It's
actually.
the front.
It's what
Yeah.
used to be the front,
Used to be the
Yeah.
front, and there the stairs up there,
Yeah.
and that's where it was creepy up there. But
Yeah.
that balcony was fantastic for things happening.
Things
Oh,
that-
yeah.
Now, going back to
Loads.
2006, when I was there with him, and my lad was there, we sat up there, and I think someone took a photograph of us. I think it was when digital cameras were just getting that little bit of a recognition. And where I was sitting, next to me, there was something there. It was like a green light next to me, as if they were sitting next to me in a chair. And I was saying to them, there's something here that I don't feel right. It's like sitting next to me. I said, I don't know whether it's just me in my imagination.
Yeah.
When they took the photograph, there was like a green light on the
That is
chair.
brilliant, that, isn't it?
I'll have to root that out because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
the
you're
cameras
back
were
here.
good, weren't they? The digital cameras and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
They're catching things. And
They
that.
are now. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got them on your phones now, which is fantastic. But digital
Perfect.
cameras back then.
It's lots of
Could be
controversy over them, isn't
There
there?
is, yeah.
About
Yeah.
the flashes being
Yeah.
too close to the lens and all the rest of it, and us making orbs
Yeah.
Yeah.
happen type thing. So there's
Right,
lots of...
Just going back again, I know we keep going back to the 2006 one. We were all in the dance hall, the dance where they learn to dance upstairs, the dance room, right? And there's a massive mirror.
There is.
It
I
takes from
remember
one
that.
wall to the other wall. We all know about that one.
Yeah.
And we actually, it looks like we've captured, whether it's the dates on the glass, I don't know, or not like that. It looked like an old man with a flat cap on
All right.
in the mirror.
I remember you
Now,
saying.
when we were talking to people about that, they were saying it could have been the caretaker, because the caretaker. Now, a lot of theatres all say we've got the caretaker, the spirits. So if you
Yeah.
think about that, though, I mean, the caretakers were dedicated to
They've
that place
actually
and still
lived
are.
there, didn't
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they still do. They're still
Yeah.
dedicated to it. And it was strange because the next time we went, and you were there as well, Jonathan, we were
Done,
in
like,
there.
Didn't we all sit in front of it?
Yeah.
we
And
sat
done
in
like
rows.
scrying.
Yeah. But wasn't there a bang in the room? Oh, the door
Yes.
shut.
The door,
It opened and
yeah.
closed, didn't it? And no one
Yeah.
was near it.
That's right, yeah.
And we all jumped up to have a look, and
Yeah.
obviously there was nothing there.
Yeah.
But the Citadel itself, it's full of history. It goes back to the 1800s, doesn't it? And so and if you think of any theatre, it's covered in history. It's thousands and thousands of people going there.
That's right.
And actors, actresses, it's just heaving with atmosphere.
Actors that, acts that have been on there.
Yeah.
Especially back in the day.
Yeah, music acts, paranormal, they were mediums, weren't they, I should say.
Yeah.
Everything shows, there was
All kinds
There was
going
all
on, wasn't
kinds,
it?
because they were from St Helens College as well.
Yeah.
They would bring things over.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of good
But it used to
music
hold
companies.
so many people as
It
well.
did, because the flooring as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a sloped floor, isn't it? Anyway.
Yeah.
And then you got the and then I think it went up another two. Was it
So
another 2
I'm
tiers?
sure it was two.
I'm sure he said it was
and
2.
It took it. If you remember, they took us right up to the loft,
Yeah, that's
and he
right,
said these used to be seats as well up here at one time.
Yeah. So you can
So
imagine how
Because
many
we
were
tried
in
to,
there.
we got through quite a bit, didn't we? And we could see the outline from there, because you got through the big silver tubes, haven't you? Step around them, the aircon.
I mean, if anybody's just listening, this is the Citadel in St Helens. It's an absolutely phenomenal place. I mean, for ghost hunting, it was great. Sadly, they don't do the ghost hunting.
they
Otherwise, I think they pack it with.
Because we was in.
Yeah, it'd be full every weekend.
But we had the privilege to do
We
it
did,
a couple of times,
because we
didn't we?
had the privilege when it closed, just of, the last one's in, and then when it reopened before it started going to the community.
We had the
So we had that as well.
Yeah, so we were
So they
privileged.
invited us in for that, didn't they?
And we've got to go on to another one now. And you know which one this is, because there's a funny story with this one for Jonathan. So
I've
we've
got to go anyway.
And this is,
What's that?
and this has got to
I
be.
must leave.
This is another fantastic place, and it's in Northwich, and it's the Plaza Theatre.
Yeah.
What a fantastic place! It's up on the screen now. I mean, it looks stunning even in the night time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's so much history in that one as well, and the owner of it is actually renovating it, and acts are still going in there now.
Yeah.
But again, we've had the honour and the privilege to go there and do it. And I mean, there's the inside of it now on the screen. That's the stage. I'll tell you a little funny story about that stage in a minute. We'll put that picture back up, because you can, just so we can put the imagination into your head. We'll put that picture up again in a little bit when we tell the story. But we went there. We've been there 4 or 5 times, haven't we? It's a great place.
It is.
Brilliant.
Absolutely
Summer
fantastic.
all the time happens, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. Well, Roy, who does the pod cafe here, his wife Jane comes with us,
Yeah.
and she's been there and she loved it. And
Yeah.
she says a couple of times, when are we going back there? Well, we're trying to get hold of Kai,
Yeah.
lovely fella Kai, and we're trying to get hold of him, see if we can
With lockdown
get him
and
in.
everything, it's
Lockdown, we haven't been there for 2 years or so, have we?
I know. Yeah, shame.
One time when we were there, though, I mean, the back part where the ticket office is,
It's
that's
still got
really
the original
spooky.
ticket
The
office,
original,
hasn't
yeah.
It has.
But do you two remember, I don't know whether you were with us then, Marie, or not, when we went in there, and from our previous show, when we were talking about haunted dolls, we had a teddy bear with lights in it,
That's right, yeah.
and we put that near the ticket office. And me and you sat in the ticket office,
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
and there's a few other people with us,
Yeah,
calling out, bam, 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 the
Yeah.
lights were flashing like
Wow.
mad.
that's right.
The atmosphere changed.
Yeah, it's really good.
It
Really
was.
dark atmosphere.
Yeah.
There's a little cellar at the back as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Backstage.
we got a good EVP from there,
We did.
so
Really good.
that's on my computer as well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Get it off the computer. Get it up there for everybody to look at. Get it on
I'll have to
Facebook.
sort them out, because I've
On
got quite a few
Instagram.
EVPs. I know.
We need to get them all up there.
Well, a funny one with the ticket office, wasn't there? When I got
James.
James.
Oh,
Anthony.
there was. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know this isn't paranormal, but James decided
This is the fun part.
he took me round to say, Jamie, what we're going to do is we're going to film you, and you're going to be talking and this, that, and the other. We'll have to
Yeah.
put that up as well, because it's
I
quite
know,
good
yeah.
actually. I look a lot younger then and more hair. When we were in there, we'd finished the recording and everything else, and we were walking back, and I'm going to let you tell it from there, Jonathan.
Well, I was in the ticket office. Who else was there? I can't remember who else was there. It could have been Bill.
It was Bill.
I think it was, wasn't it? So original ticket office, and you could actually put your hand through where you used to get your tickets from.
Yeah.
Just a little gap like that. And just as they were walking through, I went, "Ticket, please." I've never heard a man scream like that. And he must have jumped about 4 or 5 foot in the air.
But do you know what, Marie? If we'd have recorded it,
Oh my God.
there'd have been that many bleeps in it. You wouldn't have known what was happening.
Oh God.
Well, I saw him as we were coming through. James, another way he chats away to you, and he's dead enthusiastic, isn't he? And I spotted Jonathan in things like that. So I knew what Jonathan was going to do. So I just kept walking through as if I didn't know nothing.
And James would jump one day.
I've never seen
he's
a reaction
really
like that before, though, ever.
No.
Funniest thing ever. And he's still never forgive me for it.
No, he's not forgiving you, has he?
Doesn't that take us on to something else that's funny?
Well, yeah. Yeah, Jonathan. So we've had a little bit of a laugh on James. Poor old James here. There's nothing poor about this one, is there?
No, the stage. Picture of the stage.
We'll put the stage back up again, and we'll have another look at that. And just for the people to know, can you see the light on the stage on the left-hand side? Well, that's a door. And we all came through that door, and we were doing the ghost hunt on there. There was chairs in at the time, wasn't there? There was a few chairs, and it wasn't empty like that.
No.
We were sitting on the stage. Now, the drop on the stage looks small, doesn't it?
It does, actually, from a distance.
But it ain't.
Put it this way, it's not. Because that stage there is quite a distance from there to the floor.
But to be fair, do you see the rest of the stage on the from the middle to the right hand side?
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's flat like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
But on that left hand side, it goes in about 2 foot.
Yeah, but the funny part is Jonathan decided that it'd be great to jump off the stage. You know, the way you slide down and that. Well, I can't remember. I think I was talking to Kai, wasn't I?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he hit this boom, 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 boom. And I went, what was that? So I turned round, and have you ever seen a murder scene where they draw around someone? That was Jonathan. He was just lying flat on the floor. I just looked at him, laughing my head off. Are you all right, Jonathan?
Yeah.
And he went, yeah, I'm all right. What happened? He said, I thought the stage was a little bit lower than it was. He said, I tried to jump down, and obviously, like he's just explained then, there was a gap in between the stage, and he went, boom, onto the floor.
Because I was going to jump off, you see, so I thought I'll put my feet down there and like jump off like the front of the stage. But there was no front to the stage. It was about 2 foot in, so we just went.
The annoying part was if we'd have videoed it, it would have been viral.
Yeah,
it would have been
probably
perfect.
We'd have made 250 quid plus.
Yeah.
Jonathan would have been made to look like a fool. Well, he already had. And so they're the funny sides of the Citadel. I was going to say the funny side of the Northwich, the Plaza in Northwich. Yeah. But going back to the serious side of it is there was some strange things happening there all the time.
There was. Especially in the main
hall,
like the main seating area downstairs, and then upstairs as well. All kinds of noises.
Well, Marie, remember when you were standing next to James?
I was going to say that.
Continue.
So we're all sat on. Well, a lot of us sat on the floor. A few of us dotted around because we kept hearing. So if we're facing the stage, you was mainly sat in the middle and James at the side of it, and everybody scattered around. And to the right-hand side, looking at the stage, there was a lot of noises going on there. So I move over to there, don't I? And I'm staying there for a bit, and I could hear the movement, I can hear everything going on. So as it calmed down, I thought, well, I'll come round. And you was talking to me at the back, and you noticed me there. But then I disappeared, but you heard a noise, and James heard a noise. And he goes, oh,
as James does.
Yeah.
I've got to say, though, he's one of the loveliest people you can meet. He's got a kind heart.
Yeah. And so enthusiastic and everything, but same with his dramatic. Marie, where are you? Put them torches on. Where are you? And I said, I'm over here. What the heck are you doing over there? You was just at the back of me. He said, I heard that noise and I thought it was you. And I said, no. I said, I've been here literally 3 or 4 minutes. Stood still. And they still thought I was stood at the behind them. Both of you, didn't they?
Well, I honestly thought that you were standing next to James.
Yeah.
And it was only when you spoke, I went,
what's going on?
Well, who was that then?
Yeah.
And we still can't work that out because it was as clear as anything. There was a figure standing there.
Well, do you remember on the upstairs balcony as well when we were getting the taps?
Yeah. Well,
we debunked that.
It was rain, wasn't it?
It was rain, and there was a drip.
I remember that.
Yeah,
because we was all coming down and listening to him. And at first we thought, we're saying, make that noise again. Can you make that noise?
And
it did.
Doing
and
that,
it did
wasn't
the noise. We're asking questions, and then it was. We heard the noise again, and you know how you do. What age are you part of this building? You know, the little taps and everything. But then we were there, and we heard a rhythm to go into it, didn't we? And we was tuning in, and everybody saying all this, and we're there tuning in, thinking, "This is not right, is it?"
You couldn't hear the rain outside, though. That was what got us a bit confused.
Yeah.
It was only when we had our little bit of a break in between the ghost hunts that we went, it's absolutely pouring down out there.
And there was just a little tiny drip.
So we went at the very front. We noticed the carpet chair
wet patch.
Was dark, wasn't it? And when we come over, we noticed
spotted it.
Yeah.
And that's the important thing about ghost hunts. Think logically as well. Don't just think everything's paranormal, because it's not. 99% of the time, it's not.
Yeah. A few still, who came with us, still said, "Oh no, that was definitely that." But
once you
debunked it, and you know.
But the Plaza was. I mean, whenever we say we're going back to Plaza, everybody loves it. Everybody wants to come to it.
Definitely, yeah.
And we've had some cracking stuff. I mean, like I said, we had that EVP. I don't want to say what the EVP said because I will put it up.
Okay. Yeah. The other thing about the Plaza, how many of us felt ill?
Most of us.
Because they've got a part where just outside the bar area, and it's raised a little bit at the bar.
I think that's because it wasn't open.
And we were sat there, and you said, "Are you coming?" I said, "I can't. I don't feel right."
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I said, "I feel really sick." And then Bill came and sat down. He said, "I'm not feeling right." And there was one other person, and I don't know who that other person was. I can't remember now, but they come and sat down, and we were talking. Yeah. The three of us felt.
Wasn't it from Kai's group? The girl from our Kai's group.
It was the girl. Yeah. And she said she didn't, and we were sat there.
But the other one as well, and I think Liz Wah was with us then as well, and we were all sitting on the stage or near the stage on the floor, whatever. Jonathan was lying on the floor. But
still there.
And when we were looking at the top, there's a screen, if you remember, there was a screen which hid the main entrance, the main entrance coming into there.
Yeah.
There was a screen when you come into the actual theatre itself. And we were seeing as if people were walking past and everything else, and we thought, that's people outside walking past. But it was impossible.
No,
because there's a set of steps going down.
It's high up, so you can't get the shadow.
No, you can't get the shadow.
It was just another wall behind that, wasn't it? It was just like a little corridor, basically.
Have we got the front of the Plaza again on there?
Yeah.
Have we got the front there?
There's the front there now.
Oh, you can just see the top of the steps and the steps, but that was 2 lots of steps going down.
It was, because if you look carefully, you can see the entrance as well, the door.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were quite steep steps as well. So if you go through there, and then you go through them set of doors, and then there was another set to go through as well before you hit the main foyer.
Yeah.
And then you go into the theatre part.
So
there was no way anyone could.
You couldn't see because it was so far down.
You wouldn't get movement from outside.
No.
Yeah.
Highly recommend the Plaza. If they're taking bookings for ghost hunts now, make sure you get on there, because we definitely want to go back.
Yeah.
And a quick one before we finish the show, as well as the Bacup. We never thought about bringing the Bacup. Sadly, we got no pictures of the Bacup Theatre. But again, that's another fantastic place to go to.
Backstage was brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
And then after a while, they stopped because it was falling, wasn't it? Or something, it was crumbling. But the back of the stage was fantastic. And what was going on the stage. Am I right saying that the table on that one? Was that the table?
Was that the table? What moved?
Yeah.
And also, we went, and if you remember rightly, you were there. Lucy came with us. Remember Lucy?
Yeah,
well,
Lucy.
Right, yeah. Remember Lucy? She's still around. Lucy and her friends came.
Yeah.
And we were all on stage, and they all thought they seen someone standing on the side of the stage.
Yes, remember that.
And we spoke to Judy, who was running it.
Yeah.
And she said, "There's always been someone standing there, whether it's the caretaker or whoever."
Yeah.
Stand at the side of the stage, watching everything.
That's right. Well, didn't Jane see an apparition behind the bar as well?
Jane Basnett, yes, she did, yeah.
She did, yeah.
She saw a figure behind, that was when we were with the group, weren't we? She saw that, yeah.
That's right, yeah.
And also the glass, completely turned.
Gosh, how can I forget that? Because there was 3 of them. We were all in different areas to start with. And it was coming to the end of the night, and we got told it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and we had it till 2, so we did go over. And so we were all closing things down. So there was 3 of them left. I remember Gail, Linda, me, and somebody else around the table.
If you remember.
No, you was stood on the outside. You wasn't actually touching the table.
Ah, right.
Yeah. So 3 of them on the table, and they
was
said,
it Hazel?
I'm not quite sure. But they were all moving the glass, and you watching, because even though we trust your group and things like that, there's public ones that come in and you're looking, and you're checking, aren't you?
Yeah.
See if anybody's helping it along. And it was whizzing round, and they got a ballerina. And they were talking away and saying, "Look, we're going to have to go now." And nobody wanted to go. So all the rest of the group came crowding round. Yeah. And you said, "Oh, no, we're going to have to go. We're going to have to turn cameras off."
Yeah. I know what's going to happen now.
Yes.
There's a funny end to this job.
Yes. Well. So we're there, and just as they're leaving, Gail said, "Can you get on?" Oh, they stood up from the table.
It was Linda, me. There was you, Linda, me, and Gail.
No, I was stood on the outside. There was 3 who was actually touching the table, but I was right there where the table was. And Gail said, "Just give us one last show of you twirling on the stage." And the glass actually lifted and turned. It lifted that much. But sometimes when they tell the story now, it lifted that much, but it didn't. It lifted that much on its own and twirled and went down. And I'm going, "Did you get that, Jamie? Did you get that?" And he was stood in front of the camera. Stood full whack back in front of the camera.
There's always one, isn't there?
I didn't even have your paranormal podcast. Jack is on.
I couldn't. Everybody's going, you're joking. Anybody got that on camera? Everybody. Because we were all closing up ready, and we just kept the one camera running. But Jamie came down, joined us, right in front, smack in the front. But I was actually there right at the table, and the others around it, and it actually lifted.
No fingers on.
No fingers, nobody on the table.
Literally lifted up.
So the 3 girls that were around it, the 2 were ready for walking off, half turned. Yeah. Gail just said, "Come on, give us one last." She's dead enthusiastic. "Give us one last twirl and we'll come back and see you. Do your last ballerina twirl," and it lifted and turned.
I don't think they ever forgive me for that.
Well, they could. Honest to God, that was. Yeah. We all seen it, and even you and everything, and we all seen it, and we thought, yes, we've got it on camera.
Do you know what, though? I've always said they don't like to be on camera.
Yeah.
No, that's why I was helping them out, I was paparazzis and that. You don't want them to do that.
I've always said that, though.
Yeah.
Well, a quick one before we finish is, I know it's not a theatre, is with the table that lifted in the Mill Street Barracks. And we asked Bill to turn his camera off just before it. So there's another good example of that.
Yeah.
That's another night, that, isn't it? It's all about do spirits like being captured on camera. That's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because there's a thing called caught on camera. Do they like being caught on camera? Who knows?
Yeah.
Right, anyway, that's another show done.
It is.
I know.
How unbelievable is that, eh?
I know.
So anyway, we've got to go. And if anybody wants to and they want to get in touch with us, please get in touch with us on info.accessparanormal@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Okay. Get onto our Facebook page, Access Paranormal Podcast, or Haunted Mysteries, which Marie runs brilliantly. Got to say that. So from myself, Jamie, and Jonathan, and Marie, we've got to say goodnight until next time. See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.